position in American sports feels the pressure or the weight on their shoulders like a quarterback. Hopes and dreams of an entire fan base of teams ride on whether their signal caller can lead them to glory. And boy, what a matchup of two elite dudes we have in this one. Welcome to the home of the Clemson Tigers, Death Valley in Clemson, South Carolina. As we'll see a team from the Pac-12, the UCLA Bruins, taking on a team from the playoff a year ago, the Clemson Tigers. Glad to have you with us for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up. The Bruins will get this season underway as toe meets leather. He'll bring it out. It's Staley. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Out of the chute, quick toss to the right. Out across the 20, they'll mark him out of bounds right at the 21-yard line. Now, guys, when you're talking about Clemson, what does the top 5 ranking mean for week 1? Optimism, hope, maybe, David, an excuse for the other team's fans to rush the field if they knock you off?
Well, it means, first of all, absolutely nothing, because preseason rankings don't show up anywhere at the end of the season, but it means this team is talented. It means they're thought of highly. They got to go earn it, Jesse. It starts today, but the talent obviously is all over the field.
The number in the preseason rankings means absolutely nothing. You saw Florida State recently start in the top 10. They won 2 games by the end of the year. So you've got to go earn it. Yes, you're talented. Yes, a lot of eyeballs are going to be watching you, and people are really excited. You've got an opportunity to do things really, really that are special this season, but you've got to earn it on the field.
Johnson looking to throw. They've got the screen set up. Looking for room at the 40. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line.
And there you go. You see, you don't have to throw bombs to get big plays in the passing game. Just screen it to your running back. As soon as he catches it, he gets upfield. And how about the downfield blocking by these linemen and the wide receivers as they rip off that explosive play?
If they're going to keep covering him like that, they're just going to keep going to him.
Yeah, and it's so hard because you want to stay back and take away the weapons outside to the wide receivers, but when this guy's going to be able to catch the football and he makes plays like this, now I'm going to have to maybe go play more man, bring a guy to him, and not let him get those open touches.
Let's take a second and talk about Clemson. The portal can work wonders if you have specific holes to fill. Breathe a little new life and energy into the program. David, these guys went in there, got a nice little haul that really could set them up for success this season.
They did, and they didn't go bonkers and go crazy, Jesse. I like how they just saw a couple guys that they thought fit their system, fit their culture, and now they're bringing them in so they can rise the tide of this team.
Yeah, this feels like a curated roster, right? They only had a few holes that they had to fill up, but they went out, they put their effort into finding the right guy. They feel like they've upgraded their roster with just a few portal additions.
He might want another play. Linebackers trying to create some confusion. Lost to throw again. Got it in the middle, it's Moore. His defense giving up ground as he's finally knocked down at the 26.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that 3rd down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the first.
Johnson wants to throw it. Got the quick pass. Run out of bounds at about the 13-yard line, and that's where this offense will go back to work.
And a play like that, that seems routine, but it only works if the quarterback can get the ball out on time and out in front of the wide receiver. That allows the receiver to keep separation from the defender, and the ball hits him in stride.
The Tigers, once backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost, have put quite a drive together. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. Hit a little speed bump on this drive. It's 2nd and 12. Wants to go up top. Catch in the middle. It's Fleming. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion. And the Tigers want to pick up the tempo. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. Quick screen to the speedster outside. Touchdown, Clemson. All that baby in and then strolled into the end zone for the score.
What an exciting way to start this season. This offense had a plan. They knew who they wanted to be, but you had to come out and execute it. And that was a beautiful first drive, creating some momentum, not only for this offense, but for this squad to start the season.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Leaves it with the back. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. Scanning the field, it's Ncaa26. Makes the catch. It's Marshall. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down mark. He'll throw on 3rd down. Fires to the right. He's got an open man.
And listen, the defense knew coming into this one, they were going to target him early and often. He is a weapon, and there's no mystery where the quarterback's going to be looking on critical down and distances. Let's see how they're able to cover him throughout the rest of this game.
And there was no space, nowhere to go. That play went absolutely nowhere.
Sometimes you just need a dude to show up and make a play, and he did.
Sometimes you just need to block that dude, and they didn't.
And the Bruins have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Back to pass. Here's a heat. The short hands. It's Matthews. Into enemy territory and out of bounds at the 41 after the good gain there.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly, and that's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
On 3rd and short, they'll try to throw for it. Caught close to the marker, it's Marshall. He gets the job done on 3rd down. They move the chains. It's at the 37. Looking to throw on 1st down. Makes the grab. It's Marshall. They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a 1st down. The Bruins come to the line with a new set of downs. They'll run it from the gun. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
And what you talk about on defense is speed, is penetration, getting in the backfield, making something happen. And you could tell they got in there so quick. The offense couldn't recover, couldn't do anything with them. Nice job getting the tackle for loss.
The negative play leaves him with 2nd and 12. To throw, it's Ncaa26. The sweet feet keeping the play alive. And it's picked off at the goal line. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Linebackers have a tough job, right? Their first responsibility is to stuff the run. But you can see he does a really good job seeing pass, getting back into his cover 2 drop, breaking on the football, and making the interception.
Opening play of this drive comes from the 13-yard line. Quarterback making adjustments. Wants to go up top on 1st down. He's taking the shot. Oh, he can't hang on to the football. A big play sitting right there for the taking, and they can't get it done early in this one. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. After the incompletion, they go back up top. Going back to the well, another deep ball. It's caught. And a pickup of better than 30 yards on that completion before the defense brings him down. Clemson has just been prolific at the receiver position. More scheme or more talent? I'd argue it's both, David.
Yeah, I argue more talent over the years, just dudes on the outside that win. And you know what? I think Clemson, as much as anybody in the country, has always featured those guys. And you want to play one-on-one with those guys, or you want to give them a cushion, like they'll throw it right now.
Turning it on! And he's run out of bounds just short of the goal line, and they keep him out of the end zone for the moment. He's got 42 yards for him on the ground now. What a first quarter for this guy. The huge play got him on the porch, but now they got to kick in the door. They'll use the running game on 1st and goal. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Tigers.
I think you love starting the year off with some momentum, and that's exactly what this offense is doing. They're firing on all cylinders, defense doing their job as well. This team getting out the gates to start the season in great fashion.
Getting set for the point after. And the extra point makes it 14-0. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Not going to give him a chance to make a play as they boot that thing through the end zone. From the gun, running back gets to give. And after the tackle, we are headed to the end of the first quarter. We've reached a break. Clemson has the lead. And they jumped out to that edge early. As we wrap up the first, let's take a quick look at our game stats. Big turning point as we head into the second and get this game rolling again. Had a chance to talk it over during the break, and they'll start with 2nd down. Looking to throw, it's Ncaa26. They're working that left side. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground cover to pick up the first. From the gun, he'll try to throw for it on 3rd down. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up. And the Bruins will call on their punt team. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. coverage team gets the job done, and they'll mark him down at the 38-yard line. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. They've been firing on all cylinders, touchdowns on each of the first 2 drives, and they'll try to make it through. Trying to beat the D deep. And they dialed up a shot play, but they couldn't make the connection.
And we've already seen this movie early in this football game, and he already has a touchdown, and they're seeking him again. And there's a reason. He can run, right? Like, he's one of their go-to guys on the outside, and you can tell they're trying to use him early and often in this offense.
Might be calling a hot route. They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. Got rid of it just in time. He just throws it away, and I think the flag's going to be coming in. There it is. They come to the line facing 3rd and long from the 25. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Finds his man. It's Moore. Tackle is made at the 38, and let's see just how daring they'll be on 4th down. Clemson will send the punt team out. Let's see if he can help the coverage team out with this one. And nobody able to handle that punt. They'll let it bounce and roll out of bounds. UCLA will go back to work on offense. We'll see if they can be a little more productive this time around. A 3-and-out the last time they had the ball. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. And the tackle is made, but there has been a flag thrown. Some penalties hurt a little bit more or a lot more than other ones. That one wipes out a huge game. Early movement on the offense, and they'll push it back 5 yards. And that penalty will back them up some more, half the distance to the goal. Looking for a man. It's Ncaa26. Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, and you don't see that often, right? This guy is elite. He's one of the best in the business. This is what he does for a living, obviously. That's why he gets paid millions of dollars. Yes, NIL is real. So I don't expect many misses from this guy like that.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. And they got him in the end zone for a safety.
Oh, and how about this defense? Understanding where they are in the field. They got a chance to put points on the board, and they do.
Oh, better look out. Oh, he just handled it poorly, and it's a fumble. Flying down the right side. And no one is going to catch him. Cruises into the end zone for a touchdown.
Well, that one obviously not how you draw it up. It didn't start off great. Bad ball security. Ball ends up on the floor. But how about Johnny on the spot being there to not just scoop it up, but then shows you the wheels and takes it all the way to the house. An explosive play touchdown. You may never see one like that again.
Was to pass. Makes the grab for the 2-point conversion as they cut further into that lead. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. The kickoff bounces through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. The best way this offense can say thanks for that 2 spot is by following it up with a score of their own, David.
Really fun when your defense does that.
There he goes. They finally get to him. Well, what a play there to pick up the first down.
Man, this offense is so dangerous, Reese. They've got dudes all over the field that can make plays. There's a big gainer in the pass game.
You get a chunk of yards like that, now the defense is really on its heels. Johnson looking to throw. That's caught. It's Davidson. All down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down.
And this has got to be so demoralizing for this defense right now, having given up multiple first downs on this drive. Somebody on defense has to step up, make a play, and stop the bleeding.
Trying to make magic with his feet. And he scurries out of bounds and wisely avoids taking the big hit.
And this is the hard part about being on defense and choosing whether to be conservative or bring the blitz. They bring the blitz, he sees it, and that's what he does really well. Sees it and immediately makes a decision, gets to some green grass, and gets a positive gain for this offense.
They make the tackle at the 22. We'll give him 5 yards on the play. It'll be enough for a first down. The Tigers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Looking to throw on first down. Safe completion on the screen. And it's pretty obvious there was a big hole in that screen, and the defense ran right through it.
And you're trying to get the ball to the running back quick and let him get some space, but there was absolutely no space. They penetrated quickly, and they got him before he could even get going.
Second down, he'll throw it. Grabbed in the middle. It's Moore. And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown, Clemson.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the time to be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone. That was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Dropping back, it's Ncaa26. That's caught. It's Matthews. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line. The Bruins in the hurry-up.
Nice job by the quarterback, seeing the receiver come open, getting him the football, making the first down, and they like to do this. When they make a first down, they want to go fast. They want to crank up the tempo.
Breaks into the open. He'll go out of bounds inside the 40. They'll mark it at the 39.
And defensively, you've got to know this guy, man. He's got some wheels to him. He'll get outside the pocket. You can't let him outside the cage. Those ends have to do a good job of keeping contained. When you lose it, this is what happens. He can get outside, can scramble, and can get first downs.
Grabbed in the backfield. It's Thomas. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. Guys, let's talk a little UCLA. The only important expectations are the ones inside the program, but when you start the season on the outside of the rankings looking in, it can give you a little bit of an edge, can it?
Yeah, they want to prove to everybody they should have been ranked coming into this year. These players are angry. They feel like they're being disrespected, and they want to make a point to the entire college football world with a big win today.
Yeah, and you hear it all season, and you see it every year. The teams come out of nowhere, and they feel like they've got a lot of potential, a lot of high-ranked players on the squad, and they're going to put it together, and that they'll get themselves into those rankings.
Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
Great job by the defense not falling asleep on that play. Like, you're right there in that fringe area, this part of the field where offenses will get a little bit aggressive and try to throw the football because they kind of think the field's shrinking. It's harder to run. Nice job staying on it, staying disciplined, and executing by this defense.
third down play from the gun. Rushes on him. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short. And the Bruins will try to move the sticks on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Makes a grab past the marker. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the first down.
It's a heck of being conservative, right? I mean, that essentially would have just been a two-shot field goal with where they were on that fourth down, but they decide to go for it, throw it. They're looking for 6. They're going for a touchdown. They are...
And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, UCLA.
Man, I tell you what, that passing touchdown, man, that should spark this whole team. Like, the comeback is more than on now. Like, they got the touchdown. They cut into the lead. You want to get a stop and go into the half, get all the juices, all the excitement, and be like, listen, the passing game's rolling. We got this. The comeback's in full effect.
He'll bring it out. It's Staley. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Snap of this drive will come from inside the 15 at their own 14-yard line. They'll run the RPO and pull it right.
I tell you, this slot receiver, he really does give his quarterback a nice option. Runs really good routes. He's got nice hands. You saw it on that last play.
The Tigers with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. The offense changing the play. Johnson wants to throw it. Going deep. And it's incomplete. Going for the massive explosive play instead. They're looking at a 3rd down. It would have been a high-level play, but it's a play this quarterback expects to be able to make when he has a guy open.
And these quarterbacks start practicing and doing 7-on-7 and having quarterback coaches when they're like 7 years old, 8, 9 years old now. So even when they don't have wide open wide receivers, you...
Oh, he's got some space. He'll have enough for the first down, and they stop him at the 45. Clemson is quick to the line. To the air on first down. Makes the grab. It's Davidson. Out of bounds at the 49-yard line, but not before getting it into opponent territory.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
And the Tigers can play this 2nd down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Rides the back and leaves it on the option. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. Now facing a 3rd and long. Johnson looking to throw. Fires to the wideout. Working the middle. Not a big window, and that throw was money, and they've got it at the 30. The offense will stop the clock and use one of its timeouts. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Gets the back moving. Wants to throw on first down. The screen, he's got wheels. Finds a crease at the 20. Touchdown, Tigers. And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
Well, this offense is clicking. They've been doing it all first half. Running the ball, throwing the ball. They add inside insult to injury with another touchdown here right before teams go into the tunnel. This defense, guys, they have got to find some answers, and they've got to regroup here at halftime.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And with the extra point, they move on top by 15. Get that touchdown right before the half, build the momentum, and the last thing you need to do is mess it up by allowing a big kickoff return. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Just enough time for one final play of the half. Handoff to the single running back. Makes it past the marker. What a cut. Now he's loose. He's loose at the 20. Touchdown, Bruins. Once he got some room, it was over.
That was a big touchdown for them, too, because they're still trailing. They've got a lot of work ahead of them here in the second half, but I think that's going to give them a lot of confidence now going into halftime. I can't wait to see what they do here in the second half.
And it's up and good as they draw just a touch closer. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. Clemson will kick this deep to get the second half underway. Bounces through the end zone. It's a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. But in a game like this, they better keep it up.
You know, at halftime, the offense and defense separate, and they kind of go over their own adjustments. You know the offense was saying to themselves very quietly, guys, we're not going to stop anybody. We got to keep scoring if we're going to win this game. So the pressure's on them here in the second half, David.
Yeah, and you get the ball first. And so it's been a high-scoring first half. You get to go out here now and make a statement. Start this half, say, listen, we're going to keep scoring points, and then maybe help some, alleviate some of that pressure on your defense.
Back to pass, it's Ncaa26. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to avoid the loss.
And how nice is it to have the home crowd going absolutely bananas? Communication is harder. The snapping the football, everybody being on time. Man, this crowd really affecting the football.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. Looking to fire. Now improvising. Unloads to the wideout. And it was worth the gamble, but the long pass is incomplete.
Well, there's something you don't see very often. The quarterback overthrowing that guy with his type of speed. There aren't a lot of dudes that have the arm talent to overthrow him, but somehow we just saw it happen right there.
It's getting loud in here, and they may raise the dues on Ncaa if they can stop him on third down. Pulls it in. It's Thomas. He'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one.
That's why. defense, you feel okay playing man coverage on third down because you know you've got linebackers and you've got players on your defense that can cover these dangerous running backs mano-a-mano. Nice job tackling in the open field.
The Bruins will go for it here on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He's got it, first down and more. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. Move those chains without a hitch. Well, actually, with a hitch, but you get it.
I like that. Nicely done. The defense probably should have understood the ball was coming out quick, something like a hitch, a slant, a screen, something fast. They didn't. QB gets it on the money. Receiver gets the extra yards. Easy pitch and catch for the first down.
Well, give the defense credit because they're forcing this quarterback to throw into very small windows under duress.
So now it's second and long. The play-action fake. Here comes the heat. And it's caught inside the 20. Gets it all the way inside the 20-yard line to the 19 before being hauled down.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And, Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at them. They've marched to the red zone, and here they go. And he's got it! Touchdown, UCLA!
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into the end zone because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now on game day.
Throws to the wideout. He makes the grab for the 2 and ties the game. 76 yards on the drive for the touchdown. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. Fielded in the end zone, it's Staley. Gets it across the 30 to the 31. Nice pickup on the return there. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. Their lead is gone, and they'll try to grab it back on this drive. Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. He'll try to do it himself. Nice run there to keep things moving before they force him out of bounds.
Man, this defense has their hands full today because not only do they have to worry about the running backs and not only do they have to worry about the passing game, they've got to worry about this quarterback running the football because of plays like that. Not a huge explosive play, but he showed you the athleticism. He showed you he has the ability to hurt you with his legs.
Nice throw, nice catch, great completion on that out route. Sometimes those quarterbacks, when they see that early, they can make that jump and get that pick six. So those are dangerous routes to throw, but it worked for him there.
And you can see the offense just feeling itself. They've got it down to the 21.
He's making it look easy out there snagging that pass. Sammy Watkins, Mike Williams, T. Higgins. Great Clemson receivers in recent years. These guys just got open. They found a way with their speed and their route running ability. It's a lot of what this guy does here, too. He makes it easy on his quarterback.
Clemson ready to go back to work with another first down. Power football with the run. Getting work done on the ground. He's pulled down at the 14-yard line. Clemson jumps to the line. Wide receiver going in motion. This is a designed run. They get him stopped, but those feet kept moving until he was down to the 5. Let's see what Clemson comes up with on first and goal. Got his man quickly. They'll mark him down at the 2. The excellent execution on that throw and catch. They've moved it forward to the 2. Now it's second and goal. Johnson wants to throw it. And they knock him down in the backfield. Outstanding play by the defense. The 8th play of the drive coming. You'd hate to settle for a field goal. It's 3rd and goal. From the gun, wants to pass. Under fire. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They had been trying all game long different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy. That's why the ball falls in.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. James Madison is ahead in this one. This team plays a fun brand of football there in Harrisonburg, but they're a long way from closing this out. They're up by 13 over Liberty. We'll circle back if anything changes in this exciting college football matchup.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. UCLA will go back to work on offense. Last drive went for 6. We'll see if they can do it again. Looking downfield on 1st down. The throw to the outside is complete. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a 1st down at the 37.
I like the running back there on the route and the patience he showed, really setting it up. He got to the defender, he was able to put his foot in the ground, get some separation, catch it, and turn upfield for the 1st.
They've got it at the 37. It's 1st and 10. At midfield, he's got room. Oh, a lot of space. The 20. Touchdown, Bruins. An epic comeback. They'll talk about this one forever if they can hold on, but they're on top right now. That was a lightning-fast drive that ends with a touchdown.
And if you can string a few more drives like that together, man, we might as well get our popcorn out because we're going to get a lot of scoring.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Fielded in the end zone. It's Staley. Pulled down at the 18, and the decision to bring it out of the end zone was not a good one. A little bit backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. Johnson looking to throw. Makes the catch. It's Moore. He's knocked out of bounds, but not before he gets it to the 25.
Well, the defense playing zone coverage there. They're taking away all of the QB's primary options down the field, so he has to check it down to the drag running underneath.
He wants to change this route. Going to swing it on 2nd down. Grabbed on the outside. It's Moore. Out across the 30, steps out of bounds at the 31-yard line as they try to put something together. There's no need to panic or anything, but this would be a really opportune time to put something together and try to take control of this game.
And sometimes you just come out as the favorite, and you're a little bit flat, and you expect to win. And sometimes...
Balls in the deep ball. Gashing the knee on the right. Touchdown, Tigers. And with that, they've got the lead here in the 2nd half.
Man, how hard is it to defend when you have a weapon like this at running back that can play wide receiver, who can design ways to get the football in his hand? Palmer, once you get it in his hands, he'll do the rest.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and oftentimes those are easier throws for quarterbacks. And these running backs, they're just naturally so good when they have the football out in space. Their vision, their creativity, their ability to make people miss. And this guy showed you right there, a difficult guy to stop now if you're this defense moving forward.
And he makes the grab for the deuce.
I like it. Nice execution. Catch the football. Get it out of your hand. Nice rhythm, nice timing for that 2-point conversion.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Put this one in play for snap of the drive from the 25. Back to pass. It's Ncaa26. He hurls one deep down the left side. And it's incomplete. They were looking for the huge gain on first down.
And it's okay that that ball's incomplete. It's important this offense comes out and they show that they want to be aggressive. They show that they're willing to take shots and they're going to try and take the top off of this defense. Not able to connect on that one, but that will not be the last deep ball we see in this game.
Wants to fire on second down. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact on the play, but no flags. It'll be third down.
Well, that looked like it was going to be a completion, but how about the defender making the hit, forcing the incompletion?
Beneath the shadow of Howard's Rock, Death Valley is rocking, trying to help the Tigers on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Blasted as he lets it go. Got a man, it's Thomas. Really nice job there to pick up the first down and get it to their own 41. And the Bruins come to the line with a new set of downs. Looking to throw on first down. Snagged out of the air. And he's able to bounce off one tackle for a solid pickup.
And a really nice job by the wide receiver. You run a drag route, find space. They're in zone coverage. They're not covering man-to-man. Find a little hole. Look at that QB. Y'all get on the same page. You could tell they were, and that's why they got the first down.
The Bruins have their whole playbook open here on 2nd and inches. Give to the running back. Drag down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down.
That's a first down for the offense.
These two quarterbacks have produced as we check out their numbers after 3. Here comes the 4th. Time to see who steps up, who makes the winning plays to take home that W. They go back to work with the first down in the final period of this one. Use the play fake, now to throw. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. To the air, it's Ncaa26. This time he's got it. He makes the stop at the 33, but 10 yards on that play and a first down.
That's just a very easy, comfortable throw for the quarterback. He knows he has his big target, tight end, running across the field on the drag. Nice play.
Wants to go up top on first down. He couldn't find anywhere to go with the ball. Bought time for a second, but finally just went down. I'll tell you who was happy to see that quarterback leave the pocket. The defense gave them a straight line run right at him.
Yeah, and you want to make him move off of his spot, not feel comfortable, and then you got to run him down. And the defense did a great job. Once he left the pocket, they saw it, they exploded, kept him inside, actually didn't let him get too far outside, got the big sack.
The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call.
Timeout, UCLA.
These fans stepping up to help this defense on third down. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Got away from trouble and got rid of it. The sure hands, it's Matthews. Just across the 20 with a first down at the 19. And the Bruins want to move quickly. Out of the gun, the inside give. How about that run as he drives it all the way down to the 13-yard line? Operating in the red zone here on second down. Dropping back, it's Ncaa26. Oh, he makes the catch. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play in prime position for a score. They want to throw it. Wide out trying to get it in. Touchdown, UCLA. They move on top here in the fourth.
Man, how about this quarterback right away seeing, I got to get rid of the football. There's a lot of guys near the line of scrimmage. He spits it out, and I let my receiver do the rest. Let my playmaker make me look really good. Really nice pitch and catch. And guess what? You got the lead now in the fourth quarter.
He'll bring it out. It's Staley. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. This certainly hasn't been their best day, but there's no time for mistakes now. They have to execute if they want to snatch this thing from the fire. Nice gain on that play, but leaves it a little short of the first down. When a defense is in zone coverage, Jesse, they want to react. How do you react to a howitzer coming out like that one?
Not much you can do because this guy's got a cannon. You saw all the eyeballs on defense on that play. They were waiting and anticipating that throw, but when you've got an arm like that, it's going to be tough to stop that throwaway.
They finally get him stopped, and this veteran junior running back comes up with a nice play.
And maybe the big fella can jumpstart this offense a little bit. They got to get some points, and he's that big physical guy, breaking some tackles, making some plays. Here in the fourth quarter, they're going to need it.
Now from the 36-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Johnson wants to throw it. Might be looking to run. Finally corralled, but not before. He picked up the first down.
And that is such an accurate throw. It's one thing to do it from the pocket when you have your feet set underneath you, but when you can get outside, off schedule, on the move, and throw a dart like that, that is just big time, and the offense gets a huge explosive play.
And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. Clemson is quick to the line. To the air on second down. Fires to the middle. Touchdown, Clemson! And they grab the advantage, taking the lead here in the fourth. The old saying is pick your poison. Both of them are lethal when you deal with this guy. He fits that Clemson quarterback mold.
That's what stinks. So, yeah, I got to come up and worry about his legs and make sure I bring a safety down to be aggressive and stopping this Clemson running attack, and then he throws it over my head. So tough to defend when you get all the speed, the running game going, the tempo, and then a quarterback that can run and throw. Good luck.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. It bounds through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. The UCLA offense is back on the field, ready to go to work. From the shotgun, they'll run it. Crosses the 30 to the 31 and a 6-yard pickup. The Bruins can really attack on this second and short.
I like this idea by the offense going hurry up here. You just had a very nice run. Let's get back up to the line of scrimmage and go fast.
Slams ahead for a yard out to the 33.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and time is of the essence for this offense to get things done. Big third down as the crowd gets behind this defense. Looking downfield, it's Ncaa26. And the missed connection on third down. And here we go, down to score. They'll go for it on fourth down. Desperate to convert, and he'll throw it. Can't find his man. It'll be incomplete, and that is a heartbreaker this late in the game.
And that's a play the quarterback would love to have back. Late in the game, trailing by only one possession on fourth down. It looked like there was a window to put that football in, to get the catch, keep the drive going. The quarterback has an inaccurate pass.
Turning it on! That's why a good running game is a coach's and quarterback's best friend when you're trying to put the lid on the game. Just on the edge of the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 21. Quarterback making checks. Looking to throw on 1st down. Lets it fly deep downfield. And he reels it in for a touchdown, and that just might seal it.
And, you know, late in the games, offenses sometimes get conservative when they got the lead and they got the ball. I love this offense. They were aggressive. They got another score added to the lead. Now you're trying to salt this game away.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Always expect the unexpected in college football, and for some, this update could fall under that category. Coastal Carolina was able to come away with a hard-fought victory in Conway. It wasn't one coaches will point to the rest of the way as a perfect 60 minutes of ball, but it is a step in the right direction. All that speculation all week, and now we know. But something tells me, fellas, we haven't heard the last of either of these teams.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there, Kevin. Thanks for the update. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Looking to pass. It's Ncaa26. Got a man. It's Matthews. Good call, good execution as they move the chains, and they have a 1st down at the 38. To the air on 1st down. Here's the pressure. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the defense is smelling blood in the water at this juncture. They know the offense is going to throw it, and that's why you see these D linemen and linebackers, man, they are pinning their ears back, getting after the quarterback, and to hit that time, help force the incompletion.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. They'll move the tight end. Back to pass on 2nd down. Pressure coming. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down.
And you just got to know the situation of the game, honestly. After that incompletion, now setting up 3rd down, you still got timeouts. You can attack the middle of the field. It's all out there for you. There's no need to panic. Because of those timeouts, you still have an eternity to get back in this game.
Down by multiple possessions, they can't come up empty on this drive in the 4th quarter. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. It's incomplete, and they desperately needed to keep that drive going, and they couldn't make the connection.
And that just about does it. That about puts this thing to bed. The offense, listen, they had to go for it, but now defense, this is the situation where you say, I'm just going to eat clock, up by several possessions, clock, get out of here with a W.
Found a little room out of the Wildcat that time, just short of the first down.
And I think the defense would be really happy with where they're at right now. They knew they had held their stud down to his little yards, but they're trailing. And this is the time where he's going to get the ball even more. So they got to be ready for him. It's going to him. He's a great back, and they've done a pretty good job all day.
A little wrinkle here as they go to the Wildcat and use the extra blocker. They finally get a hold of him, knocking him down behind the line of scrimmage. He had been running wild.
That's a backbreaker if you're the offensive coordinator, because on first down, you ran the ball, had a really nice gain. Short yardage situation, you just get completely blown up, and now you're having to probably dial up a throw on third.
Throws toward the end zone. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in.
3rd and short in college football today. You see so much more pass than you used to. The offense stays aggressive, and I think they stay aggressive because they know they're in field goal range. They got that 3 in their back pocket.
They already have a comfortable lead, up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on 4th down. Couldn't find his man, and they'll give up the football on downs.
And the offense stays aggressive. They try to throw the football and just weren't on the same page. It was an incompletion. He could have done a better job, I think, throwing the ball to his receiver and maybe making it where it's more of a 50-50 ball where he can make a play. Defense gets the big stop.
First play of this drive will start from the 31-yard line. The timeout stops the clock with 10 seconds to play. Looking to throw, it's Ncaa26. That's caught, it's Flores. And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play. After this, it'll be a wrap. Second down, they'll go to the air. Bring in the heat. And down he goes, and that's going to do it. Didn't have much of a chance there, and the defense puts an exclamation point on this. When we get to the offseason and they start having coaching clinics, they're going to roll this game tape back to show both offenses.
Dial it up and let it run. I mean, that's essentially what we saw in this game. It didn't matter what either offensive coordinator was calling. Everything seemed to work through throwing the football, in the intermediate passing game, the RPOs, the run game, David. This was just clinical offensive football.
And offenses have evolved so much. They can do so many different things, and they know how to use their playmakers, get speed and space, make those big plays. So that's why offenses are ahead of defenses in this game. It was no different.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.